Hey, welcome to a product review of Jabberin Jack. It's put out by Mindscope Products, a company that's known best for their RC cars and glow pads and other outdoor toys, but they're making a big splash this holiday season with basically a talking pumpkin, a talking jack-o'-lantern. It's been making a splash online for reasons that are not fair to Mindscope and not fair to what the product actually does. So the reason that Jabberin Jack has got a lot of attention basically from mid-August, late August to early September was a bunch of companies put out ads and they started Facebook stores and they all seem rather dubious because they're selling a product that doesn't exist. They had basically videos of three different shaped pumpkins singing holiday songs in unison. So the three of them are sort of synced up together. And basically that product is not available to purchase. There's no company putting that out. That's actually from Atmos FX, is a company that does projection systems, and they actually just create the files that you have to individually put into three different projectors, and you have to set up three pumpkins to project against. It is not something that this Jabberin Jack does. Jabberin Jack is still very cool, and we'll get to that shortly, but it does not do what you think it does if you are seeing this. The reason people are turning to Jabberin Jack is because a lot of these stores, these quote unquote stores, are mentioning Jabberin Jack either in the description or sometimes they actually have like a photo of the box. And they basically say, oh, well, there's three. You can get spooky, funny, traditional, like you can buy the three different pumpkins. That doesn't exist, right? This is the same pumpkin, goes through 70 minutes and it goes through all these things. You do not switch between spooky, traditional, and funny. The whole thing is basically built in. It's part of that 70-minute loop where it does talk, it's saying, mostly says a lot of puns. So if you like dad jokes for Halloween, this is the product for you. So now let's talk about the product. 2 minutes in, you're saying, wow, why didn't he talk about the product sooner? So if you open the box, and I did, basically you have three things. You have the pumpkin itself, and then you have the instructions, and it's just, this is it. This is a one-sheeter, and basically a half-sheeter if you think about it. And then the plug. So this does not run on batteries, it runs on AC power. And as you can tell, it's a USB plug. It is 2 feet, so it is very small. So plan on having an extension cord unless you happen to know that you'll be plugging the pumpkin right next to a socket. So this is the actual pumpkin, and the cool thing, first of all, and the green stem actually came separated, just snap it on real easily, is the projection is inside. The projector is inside the pumpkin, which is why this is a self-included, cool little product, does a lot of neat things. But again, let's turn it on because it's easier to describe it once I have it actually running. So we've just turned it on, and there he goes. So the projections are really cool, and it looks better the darker it is, obviously. So this looks really good on sort of like a dark porch, a dark lawn. Again, remember, you just have 2 feet of power cord, so make sure you have an extension cord to get to the power source that you need. And right now, he doesn't do anything. You turn him on, he'll basically go through a lot of expressions, but here's where you basically can cycle through the traditional, the spooky, and then the funny, and then the musical part of the component. So let's say once you touch it once, you will get into traditional. So it'll be sort of like pretty much, dad jokes, but talking pretty much Halloweenish.
The difference between me and all those other Halloween decorations? I know when you're talking about me.
So yeah, you can groan at will, but about 20-30 seconds, a new joke will come out. This is the traditional part.
Halloween.
That's it. That's all you get. Happy Halloween. It's not always joking. This is the traditional mode. He's doing traditional faces, and that's pretty much what he does in this mode. And then if you want to switch to scary, let's do one more of this, and then we'll switch over.
I got a whole month to myself to watch the leaves fall and wait for the trick-or-treaters to come and go in their scary costumes and eat all the candy.
All right, so let's say you're saying, all right, I want him to do more than this. That's where you hit the skip mode, and this is where it gets the scary. So that you'll notice the projections start to get a little more ominous, right? It looks a little like annoying orange or something like that. But then again, let's hit the button again, and this will start the actual spoken part of the scary, spooky part of the animation sequence.
Your scary movies. What will you do when a real monster comes for you tonight? Flip the channel? Ha!
So it's spooky, but sort of like PG spooky, not the kind of stuff that kids are going to freak out and parents are going to come complain to you, to the homeowners association about this. Again, I haven't cycled through all these, but
Let's just say I know a thing or two about possession. And when the time comes after I've grown stronger, your body seems like the perfect host for my escape out of this orange shell.
okay, all right. Some kids may have nightmares over internal possessions over pumpkin jack-o'-lantern. But Jabberin Jack, of course, then gets to if you hit basically the skip button one more time, and again, this is the volume, and skip is in the middle.
Run from the monsters, they say. Run from their growls, their screeches, their bloodlust. Run into the night, away from their fright. But wait, where's your light?
All right, and then one more time we get to then the funny. So this is, it's the funny part of it. Again, it's sort of like, this face looks a little scary. It looks cavernous in there. But if I do it, then he just starts basically just going, I mean, if you thought the first traditional part was dad jokes, this is it.
I had all the brains in the world till they scooped them out of me to make roasted pumpkin seeds. But who needs brains anyways? Everyone knows 2 + 2 =...
And again, the speaker is actually built in, so and while it can go decently loud, it's not going to stand out over, let's say, a very loud party or even an environment.
I knew a scarecrow who wished he had a brain. Then he went to a wizard to go get it. Screwy scarecrow. Everyone knows wizards aren't real. You gotta go talk to Frankenstein if you want a new brain.
And then the musical part. So this is going to be disappointing if you're expecting any kind of, known songs. These are all original, and it's actually pretty loud, so I'm going to lower it. But yeah, these are original songs. It has about 4 songs that I've heard. Maybe there's more hidden somewhere, but I haven't fully cycled through all 70 minutes of the content here. But again, this is a song, and you click on it again, you'll get a second song. And so, the songs are all cool. I mean, no one's going to know the song, so it's not like Monster Mash or Nightmare Before Christmas or what you probably thought you were getting when you bought it, pretend you thought you bought it from a store trying to sell these things for $35, $30, $40 on Facebook, which is not true. So this retails for $65. Mindscope put it out originally at $60 in mid-August. And then basically a couple days before they were going to start shipping, they moved it up to $65. I'm guessing they got a big, a spike in orders once it became popular, that people saw that Jabberin Jack was the name on some of the products that Facebook was doing. That product that does not exist. Again, that's an Atmos FX projection on sort of just actual pumpkin, different size pumpkin decorations. Not here. This is cool. It is, let's go to one more song. You have the actual projector inside there, and even though you can't tell, this handle that you snap on is actually, you can lift it up. It's actually pretty easy to carry it this way. You probably shouldn't just carry it. It is very light because it's a plastic shell and a light projector, and then obviously everything else is just the light inside the projector itself, and everything else. All the animations are stored internally, so it is a very compact but very impressive piece of Halloween decoration, but again, it is not what you think you got if you were buying Jabberin Jack, the original Jabberin Jack, if you thought it would be 3 pumpkins that would synchronize with one another, but still a very cool thing, very thing that stand out. And obviously, if you're going to get it this year, because if it is popular, by 2021, 2022, 2023, a lot more homes will have it. But then again, this is, let's stop this for a second. So this is again, this cycles right back to the beginning. So this is the traditional animation. This is what happens when you power it up. So we've cycled completely around it. We haven't heard all the jokes in the funny part. We haven't heard all the spooky stories. We haven't heard all the traditional comments. But I'm pretty sure we've heard all the songs at this point. And this is where you get to the point where he's just like this, doing this until you hit the first skip button if you want him to start talking. But a very cool toy. And again, these skip rules are not included in the instructions. You can tell Mindscope sort of wanted to rush and get these things out. So they've sort of let people figure it out on their own. There's a built-in speaker, the volume skip knobs, there's projectors, there's a projector inside, the on-off button. 3 different animation faces project onto Pumpkin. So yeah, that's we've seen through them, and they do go through a lot of different reactions. So it's not just like one static face. The flickering flame inside, the eyes change. A very cool product. Is it worth $65? Will it get cheaper after October? Like a lot of the Halloween products, if there's closeouts. Maybe at some retailers, if more retailers start stocking this. It's being sold on Amazon, Hammacher Schlemmer, I think. Not a lot of traditional retailers are carrying this right now. But it is a very, very cool and interesting thing. Lightweight, definitely a conversation piece. I do recommend it as long as you know what you're buying, and as long as you have an extension cord. I have an extension cord there, but I haven't had to use it because right now it's plugged into the back of this wall here. But a very cool thing. And again, it's one thing it says on that, if you want to keep it outside, you have to keep adequate ventilation. And it also says, do not be anywhere where it could get rain or moisture. So keep that in mind if you're going to put it somewhere where it's basically out in the open. If it's just for Halloween, you'll be fine as long as it's a clear day, but do keep that in mind. So very cool toy, very cool gamut of things that it does. And I just can't wait to see what these guys do at Mindscope. If they have maybe a Halloween thing, there's a lot. I mean, a Christmas thing, maybe even a Thanksgiving. It'd be nice to see a turkey come to life and exact revenge, so to speak. So that's it. That is Jabberin Jack. Jabberin Jack. Ages 3+, but really, anyone could just plug it in. Maybe you don't want a 2-year-old plugging it in, but a very fun, entertaining toy. Oh, he does talk. Okay, so if you leave him quiet enough, he'll go through the routine. So yeah. Yeah, so he was silent for a while. Again, something I did not know since I hadn't had him in that sort of opening mode for this long. But yeah, if you keep him on there for about a minute or two, he will go through that.
Happy Halloween.
And then again, it does not randomly cycle. It goes through the actual, pattern that he has. You could sort of predict every single thing. Now he's going to talk about trick-or-treaters and then costumes. So he does have a set routine in how he goes about this. But again, this is perfect for trick-or-treaters. Because
Costumes and eat all the candy.
they're just going to walk by and grab their candy. And they're only going to hear one animation. And it's timed sort of nicely so that there's a good 30-second gap. So you're not going to basically be hearing too many unless you're hanging around and watching. But it's not just constant jabber. So Jabberin Jack is a polite Jabberin Jack.
This neighborhood always has the best candy.
And yes, the best candy. Always go for the best candy houses. You know where they are. So that's it. Happy Halloween. Again, I'm doing this in early September, so there's still time to buy one, probably. But know what you're buying.
Costumes last year. They were all, how should I put it? Spectacular.
There you go. Jabberin Jack.
Something even scarier